Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 foundations that are high-end and my top 5 drugstore foundations. So just to give some overview of what I look for in a foundation, I have cystic acne, I have a lot of acne scarring, which I talk about in almost all of my videos. And I'm looking for high coverage. I'm also combo, so I get really oily in my T-zone and like I'm more normal everywhere else. So I'm looking for something that's going to control my oils but not dry me out at the same time. So basically full coverage, long wearing, I work long hours, and not going to make me a greasy mess at the end of the day. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. If you like foundation videos or review videos, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what your favorite foundations are. And clearly I'm pale, so these are going to be recommendations for people that are pretty fair, and I also have neutral undertones. I lean more cool. So let's just go ahead and get into it. We'll start with the drugstore foundations. The first one is the Wet n Wild Coverall foundation. I have this in the shade 815 Fair, and I really like this. I got this from Walgreens. I will insert the prices down below so you guys can see how much it is. I have a price sticker on, but it has worn off. This is a medium to full coverage foundation. It goes on medium, but it is buildable over time, and it's really lightweight. It's a satin matte finish, so it's not going to totally suck the life out of your skin, but it's also going to help balance those oils. I really like this one. I don't have to use a white mixer with this. It does fit my skin tone pretty well, but in the wintertime, I do find that I have to mix just a little bit of the white mixer in there, but this is definitely one of my top picks. The second for drugstore is the L'Oreal True Match. This is not the Lumi version. L'Oreal has the regular True Match and also the Lumi. I have this in the lightest shade, which is Soft Ivory N1 from their neutral line. This has a sunscreen in it and SPF 17, and you get a full fluid ounce of product. Really like this. I don't like the packaging. It doesn't have a pump. You just have to like dump it out right there. I don't like that. But that's kind of the only complaint I have with this product. This is a perfect shade match to me. So if you are anywhere near my skin tone, I'm not self-tan, this is my natural skin tone. If you're anywhere close to me, I do really like this one. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is the packaging. Next up is a newer release. This is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. I am in the shade Ivory, and this is a little bit too dark for me if I'm not self-tanned. You do get one full fluid ounce of product in here, and it has SPF 20. I really like this, but like I said, it's a tad dark. So if I'm not self-tanned, I do need to mix in a little bit of a lighter foundation or a lighter mixer. I prefer to use a mixer instead of mixing it with a lighter foundation because I like this kind of formula, so I don't want to like mix anything else with it to kind of mess with that formula. This advertises as being full coverage, and I would agree with that. I think it borderlines on high, medium to full. I have a lot to cover up. I'm wearing the YSL All Hours foundation right now, and it has pretty good coverage, and I feel like this is about the same. If I have something that's really like angry on my face and really intrusive, I will spot conceal, but this is a really good job of covering up just by itself. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of it, so I do really like this one. Next up is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. I picked this up at Ocean State Job Lot for $3. I do a lot of makeup shopping there because everything is so cheap, but just make sure to check the expiration dates. I live right near an Ocean State Job Lot, so I was just browsing and I did find this. I really like this. Just to show you guys, this expires in November of this year, so just make sure to check those expiration dates because you don't want to put something expired on your face, especially me because I'm prone to breakouts already, so I don't want to make it worse. So you do get one full fluid ounce of product here, and it comes with SPF 20. I'm in the shade Creamy Natural. This is too dark for me. I don't know if they have lighter shades in this line or if this was just the lightest one. This is the lightest one they had at Ocean State Job Lot. I do need to mix this in. If I'm self-tan, this is a little bit too dark for me still, but I like this one. It does come with a pump, and yeah, just your run-of-the-mill glass packaging from CoverGirl. They have a no frills kind of attitude, which I like. This doesn't advertise as being matte, but it is shine-free, so it's not going to give you any more luminosity, but it's not necessarily going to control your oils, so I do like this as like a natural finish foundation if that's what you're looking for. And the last one in drugstore is the Rimmel 25-Hour Lasting Finish Comfort Serum Foundation. This is the lightest shade, and this is the shade Light Ivory, 091 Light Ivory. Same with the L'Oreal foundation. This does not have a pump. It just screws off. And this is a very intense smell. I don't know what it is. kind of florally, but it has a very, very strong scent. So if you are sensitive to scents, make sure to avoid this one. You get 1 full fluid ounce in here. It is full coverage. I do agree this is full coverage. It says it has a comfort serum in it. I don't think that it is uncomfortable to wear. It definitely feels lightweight. It's not heavy or cakey on the skin, but it also says it is sweat, heat, humidity, and transfer proof. I don't find it to be transfer proof. If I do touch my face and I'm not setting it with a powder, it does come off. But I would agree that it's pretty much sweat resistant, and it's supposed to last 25 hours. As I said in my YSL foundation video, do not wear your makeup that long, but I do really enjoy this one, and I definitely think it's under $10 I got this at Walgreens, so highly recommend this one. So those were the drugstore ones. Now we're going to go ahead into the high-end ones. I generally don't buy a lot of high-end foundations because there are so many at the drugstore to try, and I really like trying new foundations. I have an entire drawer down here full of foundations. It's full to the brim. So I really like to try new ones and experiment with new ones, and you can't really do that a lot with high-end foundations because they're just so expensive. But I picked out the 5 that I reach for all the time that I definitely recommend if you have the budget and want to try out something from Sephora. So the first one is the Dior Forever Skin Foundation. I'm in the shade 010, which is the lightest shade. And this has SPF in it, SPF 35, and here it is. It comes with a pump. This is a full fluid ounce of product. This has a scent. It's the same scent as in the new YSL foundation. It's like floral perfumey, and it does dissipate as you blend it onto the skin, but when you are putting it on, you can definitely smell it. So if you are sensitive to scents, run away from this one. I really, really like this. It advertises as being a pore refining effect. I don't see that at all. It doesn't enhance my pores, but it certainly does not blur them. I get high medium coverage with this one. It's buildable, it's beautiful on the skin, and it has a satin matte finish, so it's not going to control your oils, but you're not going to look flat. So I definitely really, really enjoy this one. The packaging is beautiful. It's glass, of course, what you would expect from Dior, and this is just really, really nice. The next one, if you're in the market for a stick foundation, is the Tarte Clay Stick Foundation. This got some pretty mixed reviews online. People with drier skin seem to like it more than people with oilier skin. Like I said, I'm combo, so I did like this one. The thing I don't like is the amount of product you get. You're not getting a lot of product. This is all I have left, and I've used this maybe 4 times, 5 times maximum, so you're not getting a lot. I really do enjoy the formula though. You get 9 grams or 0.32 ounces, which is considerably less than other stick foundations. I'm in the shade Fair Light Neutral, which is interesting because in Tarte's Clay Foundation, I am not in the shade Fair Light Neutral. That shade is at least 3 shades too dark for me, and this one matches me perfectly. So I'm not sure if you are a certain shade in the liquid foundation, make sure to swatch the stick foundation before you buy it because they are considerably off, at least for me, in the fair light neutral category. I find this does not wear a long time, so I do like to wear it on days where I'm not going to be wearing my makeup a long time, but it just looks beautiful on the skin. It blends really nicely for me. It does a decent job at controlling my oils. I don't look like an oil slick at the end of the day, but the coverage is fantastic. I really like the coverage. I like this a lot more than the Anastasia stick foundation. I bought that and returned it immediately. So if you are in the market for a stick foundation, I definitely like the Tarte one. I also like the Makeup Forever one, but that one is more luminous. So if you do have drier skin, I would go for the Makeup Forever over the Tarte one because that one blends beautifully and is really nice. I own that as well, but I just can't control the luminosity no matter how much blotting or powdering I do. It still makes me look really, really shiny. Next up, as you guys could probably predict, is the YSL All Hours Foundation. Wearing it right now. I did a whole entire video on this, which actually is pretty popular, which is really exciting. I have, as I checked yesterday, I have about 1,300 views on that video, which is just like, oh my god, that's incredible. So thank you guys, that's really, really awesome. So like I said in this video, I love this foundation. I don't like that you don't get a full fluid ounce. You only get 0.84 ounces. 24-hour wear, full coverage. It's not matte. as I'm wearing it more, I'm kind of discovering that it's not matte. I blotted before I filmed this video, and you can see in my T-zone in my forehead, I'm still pretty shiny. So, not matte. Not particularly luminous, but definitely not matte. So this is definitely one of my top recommendations. I just wish they would give you a full fluid ounce. That really, really sucks. So next up is a newer discovery for me, but definitely not a newer release. This is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. And usually I avoid things that say sheer and glow. So usually this is a foundation I would never, ever, ever even try. But I did give this a shot. My roommate works at Sephora, so she brought me home a sample, and it just looks beautiful on the skin. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's not overly illuminating. It's not overly glowy. It is just so nice. It's a beautiful natural finish. It just, your face looks just so, like, I was shocked. It looks amazing. So I picked up the shade Light 4, Deauville, D-E-O-U, Deauville, I'm not sure. This is too dark for me. So I definitely need to go exchange this for a lighter shade. I find that these foundations especially, and NARS in general, they run really yellow or really pink. It's really hard to find a neutral foundation, so I'm still experimenting with shades in this foundation. This one is definitely too dark for me. You can even see, like, look at that compared to, like, my arm. There's no way. But I do really, really, really love the formula on this, and I highly recommend that. And my last one is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. I really love this one. I am in the shade Breeze 0.5. This is the lightest shade that they offer. And what's interesting about this foundation is the applicator. It's got this giant doe foot applicator. It's about the size of the one in the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So it's fragrance-free, full coverage if you build it up, and it has a natural matte finish. So I really, really enjoy this one. It definitely does not go on full coverage. You need to build it up, but it builds up really, really nicely. They say that you can use this as a concealer. I don't love it as a concealer because the coverage isn't really full enough for me and my specific needs for coverage, but I do like it under the eyes. I don't think it creases or anything. It's really good. This one also has a scent, so if you are sensitive to scents, definitely stay away from this one, and you do get a full fluid ounce. I really like this, and there is no SPF in this. So I'm going to insert some swatches of all of these foundations, so you can, if you really like a high-end one but you want the kind of drugstore foundation dupe, you can check that out. So let's get into the swatches. Alright, swatch time. So here is the Wet n Wild Coverall Foundation in the lightest shade, which is 815. Over here is the L'Oreal True Match in N1 or Soft Ivory. This is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation in the lightest shade, which is 705. Over here is CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous in 820 Creamy Natural. And last for the drugstore foundations is the Rimmel Lasting Finish in the lightest shade, which is Soft Ivory. And now onto the high-end foundations. Starting out over here is the Dior Skin Forever in 010. Next up is Tarte Clay Stick Foundation in Fair Light Neutral. This is the YSL All Hours Foundation in the lightest shade. This is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation that is too dark for me in the shade Light 4. And last up is Clinique Beyond Perfecting in 0.5 Breeze. So those are all my recommendations for both drugstore and high-end foundations. Tomorrow's my roommate's birthday, so her and I are gonna go launch some confetti cannons outside and test them out for tomorrow's party. So let me know what your guys' recommendations are for high-end and drugstore foundations. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!